Hello, guests. I'm the host, and we are going to see Return to Silent Hill. I'm actually excited to see this movie because I want to see what they're going to do differently than the game. What are they going to adapt? What are they going to keep? I'm pretty excited for that. And, the movie's about to start in 13 minutes, so I'm going to run inside, get myself a box of popcorn, and we're going to see how well this goes. There's very few people here, but at least I got my buttery popcorn.
Traveling here today to tell you that things do not go well for you in the future.
But tonight. So, I just got out from seeing Return to Silent Hill, and I'm just going to straight up say it. I hate this movie. I hate this movie with a burning passion in my heart. This movie is the worst movie I've seen in my entire life. I think it is worse than Son of the Mask, which is another terrible movie that I've seen that I just hate so much. I hate this movie more than that movie. Now, I love Silent Hill. You guys know that I love Silent Hill. If you're new to the lounge, I love Silent Hill. This is what I do here. I make Silent Hill videos, survival horror gaming videos, and Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Not just my favorite survival horror game of all time, but one of my favorite games to play ever. It has an extremely close place in my heart. I think about it almost every day. I bought an original copy a couple of years ago for $150 just to have it as like a collector's piece. I love Silent Hill 2. It's my favorite game. And the franchise, Silent Hill, has been going in this erratic... It has this erratic trend where it comes out with middling games, it comes out with really bad games, and, recently they came out with Silent Hill F, which I still have to release my review on. I know you guys have been waiting forever for that review, and I'm going to get that review out, I promise you. And they came out with the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I really enjoyed. I actually liked the Silent Hill 2 remake quite a bit. But then they came out with Silent Hill Ascension, which was an abomination to gaming. That game... Like, you can't tell me that game was not made by AI. It is clear as day that game was made with some sort of AI technology. I'm not entirely sure, but that game was not made by humans. It was not made by real people. I'm sure that much. And then there was Silent Hill The Short Message, which I haven't gotten around to. So, like I said, the Silent Hill franchise has been going up and down. Depending on who you ask, it's probably going down. It's probably going in a downward spiral. And I apologize if I'm all over the place in this video. This video is not scripted. This is my pure, genuine thoughts coming out of the theater. And I really, really dislike this movie. There's so much that I dislike about this movie. I'm just going to tell you guys straight up, don't watch it. Don't go to theaters. Don't spend money on a movie ticket. Watch some other movie. Don't watch this movie. This movie does not deserve your money. It doesn't deserve your time. It does not even deserve your thoughts. This movie should not exist. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And it's not just a terrible video game adaptation. It is a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie. And I am a huge cinephile. I'm not a movie snob. It's not like I only watch certified fresh movies. My favorite movie is Speed Racer, and that movie was It had a mixed reception, box office bomb. I enjoyed Transformers: Age of Extinction. Some people think that's the worst Transformers. I enjoyed it. Tron Legacy, I really enjoyed that movie, but the writing wasn't the greatest. So, I enjoy movies. I'm not a movie snob. And I just recently watched the Silent Hill movie. I just released a video on that, and you guys may or may not have seen that. But I thought that movie was okay. I didn't like it that much. There were some things I liked, but ultimately the writing was the weakest area in that movie. And there was a lot of plot holes, and the ending left me dissatisfied, unfulfilled. And it's directed by the same guy who directed this train wreck. And I thought he might have some degree of care. But no, this movie is terrible. I don't even know where to really begin. For starters, they made James Sunderland a complete douchebag. He was never a douchebag in the game. He was just a normal, average person. And what made the game so effective is that you didn't really know anything about him or his trauma. He just seemed like a normal, average person. And, as the game progresses, you start to realize, okay, something's not really right about him. But they don't do that. They just make him a complete asshole in this movie. Like, literally in the first scene, he's just driving his Mustang around the peaks of Silent Hill. And he's driving really fast. He's smoking a blunt. He's a complete asshole in this movie. So already there's no redeeming qualities about James. Like, I don't like James. Like, already he's an unlikable character. And for some reason, they decided to have the actor that plays Mary play 4 different characters. They had her play Maria, which is supposed to be played by the same actor. But they also had her play Angela, which Angela is an entirely different character. They're not the same person. It's an entirely different character. So already I'm upset with what they were doing with that character. But anyways, and then they have her dressed up as this alien-looking creature who's supposed to be the moth version of Mary, which is like the boss that you fight at the end of the game. Spoiler alert. Sorry if I spoiled it for you, but honestly, yeah, that's what happens. She's supposed to be like this final form of this nightmarish version of Mary. And it looks so bad. The costume and makeup department in this movie is probably non-existent. It was terrible. I've seen fan-made films do a better job for less. Now, this movie had a budget of $23 million, according to Wikipedia, which is a fraction of the budget that the first movie, the 2006 film, had, because the 2006 film had a $50 million budget. And, of course, that movie was 20 years ago, so you have to adjust for inflation. But $23 million for this movie. And it is just a heaping pile of garbage. Complete trash. This movie, Return to Silent Hill, makes Silent Hill, the 2006 movie, an Oscar contender for special effects. The special effects were so bad in this movie. And you know what? I'm going to be really honest with you. I wasn't expecting it to have the best special effects. But when you have movies like Godzilla -1, like, there's no excuse. Godzilla -1 had less than $15 million, and that movie won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects. The special effects were pretty bad. The atmosphere of the movie was terrible. The set designs were terrible as well. Like, it looked like a haunted house. Like a real low-budget haunted house. It looks terrible. So, I want to talk about more of the characters in this movie, because the characters in this movie, they're they're just really forgettable. They're very two-dimensional. Um, it's ridiculous how we have a movie like this when, you know, Silent Hill 2 is one of the best stories to adapt from. It takes inspirations from a lot of David Lynch movies like Lost Highway, Blue Velvet, and there's another film, Jacob's Ladder, that wasn't made by David Lynch, but still. Twin Peaks, that was David Lynch. A lot of inspirations from one of the greatest filmmakers we have, God rest his soul, David Lynch. And, you know, it was also an adaptation of Crime and Punishment, the book. So we have a game that was inspired by, you know, all these medias and literature. And then we have a movie that's supposed to be an adaptation of the game, which is also an adaptation of all this literature and stuff. And it's just, it baffles me how much they got wrong in this movie. They got everything wrong in this movie. I knew there was going to be changes. I knew that there was going to be some altercations. Not everything is going to be 100% accurate to the source material. I knew that. Everything was different in the worst way. And it drove me up the wall. So I want to talk about some of the characters and my issues with them. So I want to start off with Laura, because Laura in the original game, she's kind of like a symbol of innocence. But in this movie, they made her into a complete creepy child. And, you know, it wasn't even scary, to be honest with you. It was kind of funny just watching her do these creepy things. And she looked disgusting. And again, the source material of the game, it was never like that. So, like in this movie, they make her more creepier, they make her more disturbing, and it's not, the character was never that to begin with. So there was already a huge disconnect from the video game counterpart and the movie counterpart. No characterization with Laura at all. She's just this creepy girl that just shows up. Eddie, they really messed up with Eddie. They just had him in a small part of the movie, which is when he was in the Woodside Apartments. And his role was just, honestly, just, hey, I'm just going to be this character in this apartment. And we never see him again. We all know that Eddie has a larger role to play in the games. A huge role to play in the game. But he was just in the Woodside Apartments, and yeah, he was there and gone. And then we have Angela. And how they handle Angela offends me. It offends me to my core what they did to Angela. You guys think that how Bloober Team handled Angela was bad? Oh, the movie version is atrocious. They really mishandled her story. And to make things worse, to make matters worse, they combined Laura, Angela, and Mary into one character. Because there's a scene in the movie where Laura leads James to this graveyard, and she's like, say her full name, and it's Mary Angela Laura Crane. Like, that is so stupid. That is so stupid. So you decided to make these three characters one character instead of their individual character. Their own individual character that has a story, it has a role in the story, that has a purpose in the story. They decided just to make it into one character. So terrible. So yeah, the makeup was bad. The story was really bad. I think bad is an understatement. It was just horrible. And the whole story between James and Mary was really, really mishandled. So I want to talk about Pyramid Head in this movie, because how Pyramid Head is used in this movie is far worse than how he is used in the 2006 film Silent Hill. I haven't seen Revelations yet, so I'm just going to speak on my experience. He is handled worse in this movie than he is in Silent Hill, the 2006 film. So Pyramid Head is the Punisher to James. So James created him so that way he can punish himself for what he did to Mary. So that manifestation of guilt is what created Pyramid Head in the original Silent Hill 2 game and in the remake. There's a lot of theories as to who Pyramid is, really. A lot of lore behind that. I know the lore, but I don't know it off the top of my head, so I'm not going to speak on that. But Pyramid Head has a huge pivotal role in James's character arc. And James's realization and James's acceptance of what he did. Pyramid Head is the guide to James's journey. But, you know, the way that the story is told, it's not obvious that, oh, Pyramid Head is actually here to guide James. No, it's more so James is fighting his own guilt. There are plenty of video essays about Pyramid Head and why he's a very complex character. And it exists only for James Sunderland because James Sunderland created him. This is the manifestation. And how it was used in this movie was insultingly bad. They made Pyramid Head James underneath the helmet. Now, we're never supposed to see what Pyramid Head looks like without his helmet off. We never see that. We're not supposed to see that. It destroys the image of Pyramid Head and what he represents by showing what's underneath the helmet. I didn't think they would actually do that, but they did. And it was really frustrating to see. It's a complete misrepresentation of what the character is. And the fact that I saw it in the theater on the big screen, I had to stop myself from walking out because I had to finish this movie for you guys. So Pyramid Head in this movie is terrible. Absolute dog water. I hate how he was used in this movie. I hate how they used him more than in the 2006 Silent Hill movie. It was terrible. So I want to apologize again if I'm all over the place because, again, this isn't scripted. This is just my pure, honest thoughts out of the theater. And I just really dislike this movie. I've never felt so strongly before about a movie like this because I've watched Welcome to Raccoon City. And that movie made me disappointed. I was very disappointed in that movie. But that movie didn't offend me. Yeah, the way they treated Leon Kennedy in Welcome to Raccoon City was awful. He's one of the most iconic characters in the Resident Evil franchise, and they treat him like a joke in that movie. But at least that movie had some respect for the other characters. In this movie, there's no respect for any of the characters. It is terrible. And some poor bastard is going to buy a movie ticket to watch this movie, not knowing the amazing games, the amazing legacy that this movie stands on, and disrespects. They're not going to know the legacy of the games or how great the games were. They're just going to see this movie and they're going to walk out and they're going to be like, so that's what Silent Hill is like? That's what Silent Hill 2, that's the story? And the thought of that really makes me angry. It really does. So, right now, my younger sister is playing the Silent Hill 2 remake for the first time. We were playing it the other day, and she got to the Blue Creek Apartments, which is the next level from the Woodside Apartments. So, it's pretty much the alternate Woodside Apartments. And she saw Pyramid Head for the first time, and she was terrified. She was like, that's the guy, that's the thing. That's the mascot for the franchise. I was like, yeah, that he only exists in this game. And she was really surprised when I told her that. I told her that you'll see his purpose in this story and how it unfolds. But so far, she's really enjoying the game, and I'm really happy. But if she saw this movie, I know she wouldn't give the franchise a chance. I really do believe that this movie has tarnished the reputation for the franchise even more than it already is. Silent Hill F was an experiment, and not a lot of people liked it. I would say it's mixed in the fan base for Silent Hill F. The Silent Hill 2 remake, a lot of people liked it, but it wasn't as good as the original. It wasn't as groundbreaking as the original. And to be honest with you, I knew it wasn't going to be. Because, you have the original is the original. It redefined a genre. It's practically the godfather of survival horror gaming. So, of course, the remake wasn't going to be the remake isn't going to be better than the original. I mean, that was never going to enter the realm of possibility for a lot of people, me included. But this movie is just so bad. And I keep saying that over and over in this video. But, I'm trauma dumping on you guys. I'm expressing myself because I want to save the poor soul that's going to watch this movie. If you have an opportunity, please don't see this movie. See anything but this movie. Hell, watch the 2006 movie. Watch the 2006 Silent Hill movie. That movie has more respect for the characters. For some of the characters, not all of them. But either way, this movie really made me upset how they handled the characters, how they handled the story. And the thing that really upset me, and I've seen this all over Facebook, I've seen it all over the news, is this really emotional scene where James, smothers his wife with a wet rag. Originally in the game, it was a pillow. But in the movie, he kills her. And basically, how he does it is he gets like this wet rag. He doesn't get a pillow and smothers her. And essentially, she asks him to do it. In the original game, it is implied that James just kills Mary. Just one day, he just kills her. And the game doesn't angle it as, oh, James is the bad guy. It leaves it up to you. You get to judge him. In this movie, Mary wants to die and asks James to do it, which is, again, a gross misunderstanding of the source material. This is a gross misunderstanding of the source material. It is so bad. And to top it all off, James was wearing a beard in this movie. And, I'm okay with characters having facial hair. This isn't, I'm not going to say that he shouldn't have a facial hair. But the thing is that the beard in this movie looks like it's from Spirit Halloween. They couldn't even afford to put on a realistic-looking beard. It looks like a fake beard. And it ruins the emotional impact of the story. Not like this movie had any to begin with. This movie is very disjointed. I couldn't really follow along with what's going on. This movie was all over the place. The pacing was all over the place. The plot is just terrible. Horrible plot, horrible performances. But getting back on track, I'm starting to get off topic a little bit. But they give him this really fake-looking beard. Really? He couldn't grow a real beard? They give him this fake beard, and it looks so bad. Spirit Halloween bad. And I couldn't take this movie seriously. It's one of the worst video game adaptations of all time. Of 2026 and beyond. I don't think they can make a more terrible movie than this. Because Silent Hill 2 has one of the greatest stories of all time. The campaign, I keep calling it the campaign. The narrative and story of Silent Hill 2 is amazing. and this movie craps all over it. So this was my unscripted rant for Return to Silent Hill. I really, really hate this movie. I really hate this movie. And honestly, I don't know. I'm probably going to make a scripted video so that way I can channel my thoughts more fluidly. I'm sorry if this was incoherent. I'm going to try to edit this so that way it's not as incoherent. But this movie really makes me upset. So, yeah, this is kind of like my own solo silent discussion on Return to Silent Hill. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.